Hey Aquarius, welcome back. To all my new subscribers, welcome. All right, Aquarius, this is going to be my second attempt at doing this reading. And nothing happened to the recording before, but the energy that was coming out on these cards didn't make sense. And you know, I had to scoop it up and stop the recording and start over. You know, so it just kind of makes me wonder right now if that's the energy that's going on with you. So I'm going to attempt this again and see what happens. I'm using the Tarot Apocalypsis deck. I'll clarify with the mini Radiant Rider-Waite and give advice with the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle. But let's try this again and see what happens. Because that energy was just very weird to me. So I don't know. You know, I kind of feel like what's going on the inside is not showing on the outside. And if it's showing on the outside, it's because it's too heavy on the inside to hide. So let's see what's going on. Because it's a very it feels uncomfortable. Let me do this again. Okay, Aquarius, what do we got? August 2018. First card out, Five of Wands. Second, Eight of Wands. Prince of Swords. The Star. Ace of Wands. King of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Ten of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. And at the bottom of the deck, the Fool. Okay, so although there are a lot of similar cards from the last reading, there are less court cards. The other spread had a ton of court cards, which made that extremely difficult to read because that's all people. Okay, so let me see. So what's grounding your reading is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is a brand new start. This is a brand new start with passion, with fire, moving forward. And what's crowning that is the Eight of Wands, that forward movement, that desire, that need to move, communicate, you know. And it is regarding your stability, your finances, it seems, okay? Feeling abundant, feeling like this is what you need, you know. And we've got petty arguing up here. This is like, I call this the bullshit card because it's unnecessary. This is unnecessary. Whatever this is going on here, it was absolutely unnecessary. Okay, and this is where the communication is coming in. And there's movement. There's movement. And here's the Prince of Swords. This is somebody coming in with a message, you know, and here's the message and the Five of Wands. So whatever this person came in with, it was bullshit, you know. I mean, this is where you're at. You're like, what the hell? Like, and you don't even see this coming, but you stand your ground in that, you know. And so you're like, okay, whatever, you know, like, it is what it is, whatever this is. And I say that because we've got the Fool. This is starting out on a new journey. So whatever this message was, it caused a bullshit situation that you decided that you needed a new path. You needed a new path. And this could have been, this is the star. This is the Aquarius, okay? So Aquarius starting a new path. Aquarius is on the road alone, you know? Like they are taking the bull by the horn and just moving forward and saying, okay, this is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. So I need to keep moving though. This bullshit's not going to hold me down. This is not going to keep me back. Oh, I'm going to run my mouth, but I'm not going to be held down. That's kind of what I feel here. And your focus is this King of Pentacles, this Ten of Pentacles. This is making sure that you are stable. This is your energy. This is what you want. This is what you need, you know, your stability. This is where your focus is. But there's a decision to be made in order to get to that place. Because whatever happened here interrupted that. Interrupted your foundation. It disturbed your foundation. And coming out of August, you're the Hanged Man in this state of limbo. So I want to clarify this and see what's going on there. Why is this Hangman here? Two of Cups. Two of Wands. Again. Four of Wands. Yeah. You know, and at the bottom of this deck, we've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, the Seven of Cups, that's, you know, having to make a decision, an emotional choice. But there's a lot of caution with that, with the Seven of Cups. You have to be really cautious. And this is what you're not sure about. Because you don't want to get burned again. You know, you totally don't want to get burned again. And so you're being extremely cautious with this Seven of Cups. And you've got to be careful with the Seven of Cups. So underneath that, we've got the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. You know, the Seven of Pentacles is, you know, is this the right choice? Is it going to be worth making this decision? Whatever this decision is. And it has to start regarding your new journey. Because like I said, you're on a new journey. It's because of this bullshit up here. You're on a new path. But what you want is this stability. Nothing else. You just want to be stable. And if whatever is coming up is going to interrupt this stability, this is something you have to really think long and hard about. Because the thing about the Seven of Cups is you don't know what is in each cup. You have to, it's kind of like the process of elimination. Focus on each cup that's standing, I'm saying on each cup that's standing in front of you, but these are opportunities, you know, that are standing in front of you. And you have to really evaluate each choice. Whatever these choices are in front of you, you have to really evaluate each one. And once you pick that final cup, there's no going back. You can't trade it in. And so you have to be extremely careful on your next move coming out of August. And this is where you're kind of in limbo, because you know a choice needs to be made. A choice needs to be made because you're starting out on a new journey. You're starting out on a new path. And a choice needs to be made. And your stability is what's important here. You know, we've got the Two of Cups here. So this could be involving a relationship. We also have this symbol that they use in the medical field. So this could be involving something that has, you know, could affect your health. Excuse me. And with the Pentacles on the board, this could be involving your work. Either way, whatever it involves, there's a careful, not just a decision, but a careful decision that needs to be made. Because one wrong move can disrupt your foundation. on top of your foundation already being disrupted. Because with this Five of Wands, and I'll tell you what came out in the previous spread that I did was the Three of Swords. And aside from the Tower, the Three of Swords can rock you, you know. The Tower card can rock you, and that didn't come out, but the Three of Swords did. And that can rock you just as much as the Tower. You know, that could have a huge impact on you, just like the Tower does. But again, with the Three of Swords, it could be, you know, a heart condition, heart surgery, and trying to decide if this is a good idea. It could be deciding whether you want to get back in a relationship with somebody that hurt you, you know, and being in limbo, and you have to be really cautious and careful. It could be within a work situation, you know, petty bullshit happening on the job, and you know, having to leave because you have to start on a new path. Now you got to choose a new direction, and you're like, what the hell? You know, and that really hurt because you didn't expect it. When you see the Three of Swords, the reason it's so painful is because you don't expect it. And I feel like that's what happened, is whatever happened, you didn't expect. You were moving along, and then bam. And then you're like, where'd this come from? Because up here we've got the Five of Wands. That came in really quick. This news, this bullshit, that came in fast. And you were like rocked by that, you know? And now you're forced to start a new path. And you've got the Ace of Wands right here in the center. And this is moving quick. Like, this isn't just passionately, this is moving quickly. You need to move fast because your stability is at stake. But I don't feel like it's coming fast enough, because I feel like with this Star card, there's things that you need to evaluate about yourself too in order to have future success. You know, you can't ignore the way you feel about things. You know, Aquarius, you know, you're so fun, you know, but you will tuck your emotions away and try to ignore them because they're uncomfortable, you know, and I feel like you're not really able to do that right now. You can't. You're being forced to use your emotion in some way, being forced to make a decision, like, and really have to think and go within. And it may be uncomfortable, but I feel like you're going to be in this state of limbo because this Ace of Wands, this action, this movement, it's not moving fast enough for you. And so it's really important that you don't slip into a depression, slip into a dark place, because you're on the edge of that here. And you've got to be really careful with that. Don't allow this. This new path can be a good thing if you allow it to be a good thing. If you allow it to be a bad, depressing thing, then that's exactly what it will be, and the choice is yours. This was no doubt uncomfortable. No doubt. But you can't allow this to impact this. You can't allow what happened up here to define and determine what your future is going to be. You can't allow that. There's always a way to make it work for you, even if you can't see that. But see, and that's where that Seven of Cups is, because you're confused. You don't know. You don't know which card to choose. You don't know which cup to choose. You know, one could be full of everything you ever wanted and dreamed of, and the other one could be just dark despair, you know, and you don't know. And that's a lot of weight on you. Making this choice is heavy. And I'm not sure if people around you understand how heavy this decision is. But it's definitely something that you need to really put a lot of thought into. A lot of conscious effort into that. But I'm going to pull some advice cards from the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. And I'm really glad that I reshuffled and laid the spread out over again and deleted the first video, because that was tough. You know, I had to really, you know, I kind of feel like you're not allowing people in right now, and that's okay, just as long as you're not allowing yourself to sink into this funk. It's unnecessary, and you're probably doing a lot of busy things, you know, busy things to avoid touching that. So let me see what's going on. All right, Aquarius. Some advice for Aquarius here. Moving on. Yeah, you've got to move on. Moving on is what's happening, and Spirit has you with this. You know, you ever hear that footprint poem from the unknown author? You know, it's kind of reminding me that here. You might want to read that. I can't remember what it is, but I'm being told for you to read that, because that's why this card is very significant. Read that poem. I'll try to find it and put it in the comment section below. Heal. Yeah, you know, this kind of reminds me of the Hangman, but breaking free from these chains, you know. When you're in reverse like this, you know, I really feel like at this point you're just letting go and like, okay, something has to give. You may be just trusting in Spirit. This reminds me of like free falling, you know. When it's in reverse, the guy doesn't look panicky. Excuse me. The guy doesn't look panicky. You see the light above him. That Spirit. You see these chains broke around his hands, and he's just hanging there, you know. But you see there's this light around his head. I feel like this is him thinking. But right here is Spirit. You know, he's protected. He's protected. But you're breaking free from something that was holding you back, from some type of bondage. You're just not fully healed from it. This is still painful. This is still really painful. It's like the shock of it. That's why I'm saying it reminds me, that Three of Swords from the previous spread reminds me of that Tower. But you got to move on from this so you can heal. I think you're struggling with that. And we've got helpless and hopeless. Yeah, again, struggling. Because you don't know which decision to make. You know, you got these two paths in front of you. And you're like, I don't, you know, but, you know, pick a path. Because, look, whichever way you decide to move, to choose, whichever direction you decide to choose, you're going to end up in the same place. Where this sun is. Either choice you make is going to be better than not making a choice at all. We have two identical outcomes. You know, two outcomes that are identical. So it doesn't matter. Just pick a path. Do you want to go back into something or not? You know? I don't know. I mean, I feel like you have two options, and even if it's not going back into something. So let me rephrase that. I just feel like sitting stagnant and not moving on is what's causing you to not be able to heal. You know, you can't heal with this being in reverse. That's struggling, moving past this. That's a struggle. But this is why that Footprints poem is so significant, and I'll post it below. But you're just feeling stuck. You know, if you sit here, you're not going to know what's behind these mountains. Just move forward. With this Ace of Wands here, that's a forward movement. With this Eight of Wands, that's forward movement. And you're not going to have this abundance if you just sit there and not move. You gotta move, Aquarius. I know you're going through it right now, but you can't sit there and lick your wounds. Not right now. Because I feel like you could miss opportunities by doing that. Listen. Yep. Right here. Listen. Listen. You know, if this heal card were upright, that's being open to what Spirit has to say. That's being open to hear your intuition, listening to your intuition. Whatever you're getting intuitively, you're hearing it. But when you're in reverse like this, that's like Jesus take the wheel, you know? You don't want to do it. You're tired. That's exhaustion. That's no thank you. I don't want any more, thanks. But Spirit's like, no, listen. You're a lot stronger than you think. Don't doubt yourself. How can anybody else have any, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Faith in you if you don't even have faith in yourself. You know, you show people how to look at you by the way you present yourself. And if you don't present yourself sincerely with confidence and faith in your own self, then how can anybody else? And that, you know, you need to listen. You really need to listen. You're being guided, but you're stubborn. You're being stubborn. And it's going to end you here with the Hanged Man, you know? You know, Aquarius, I'll say that this reading is uncomfortable, you know? And it's almost like this is the way I feel, and it's probably the way you feel, because it's how it feels energetically. Like, I can see what's going on here. I understand what's going on here, but I'm not quite sure I'm hitting the mark, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's kind of like what's going on with your energy. You know, you've got all this going on. You know what you want. You know what you've been through. You know, you can see yourself in the future, but you're not quite sure. Like, you're not hitting the mark. Like, why does this stuff keep happening? You know? And I kind of feel that energy, and it's even making the reading difficult, you know? But if you want a personal reading, you can reach me at www.newagesupply.store. I'll be back to do the mid-months to see what's going on with you and to see if this is cleared up any. And please remember to hit the like, share, subscribe button. And you can hit the bell to be notified when those mid-months do come up. But leave a comment in the comment section below, because I'm very curious as to how this may resonate with you. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And you know, check your rising and your moon sign if it doesn't. Don't hit a thumbs down just yet. You know, listen to your rising and moon sign and see if there's something, you know, put it together, you know. But yeah, this is very confusing for me. So I just feel like you're in a very confused state as well, okay? I'm really picking up on your energy, Aquarius, and it's very hard to sift through. And I feel like that's what's going on with you as well. All right, Aquarius, you're in my prayers, and I hope this works out. And I'll see you at the mid-months. Take care.